an enormous creature that reigns over the heart of the land and the depths of the seas. With its astonishing intelligence, it leaves everyone in awe, and its size is so immense that towers bow before it in reverence. Let's go back about 94 to 97 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period. The Earth was a very different place, and in what is now Argentina, a giant was stomping around, making the ground tremble, literally. This beast was an absolute unit. Picture this, a creature as long as a 10-story building is tall, reaching up to 100 feet in length and weighing around 100 tons. That's the equivalent of about 15 elephants. Just imagine the sound of it moving through the forest, branches cracking underfoot, its massive tail swishing through the air. But here's a fun, or maybe creepy fact. Despite its massive size, the Argentinosaurus had a brain the size of a grapefruit. Yeah, all that body and not much brain power to match. But who needs brains when you're the biggest creature around? Now let's talk diet. The Argentinosaurus was a herbivore, munching on massive amounts of vegetation every day. To keep that enormous body going, it likely ate around a ton of plants daily. Think about that for a second. Imagine the biggest salad you've ever seen, then multiply it by 1,000. You might wonder, with such a huge body, what kind of heart did this creature have? Well, to pump blood all the way up that long neck, it needed a heart almost as big as a car. And speaking of long necks, have you ever thought about its tongue? It's estimated that its tongue alone could weigh as much as an average adult human. So how did it get so big? Scientists of catastrophic events, fires, tsunamis, and a nuclear winter that blocked out the sun, leading to a collapse of ecosystems worldwide. Without enough food and warmth, even the mightiest creatures couldn't survive. Before we continue, please like this video because our channel is small and new, and your likes are a huge support for us. All right, now that we've covered the land, let's dive into the ocean, where things get even scarier. Imagine swimming in the warm, ancient seas about 3.6 million years ago. The water's calm, you're enjoying yourself, and then, out of nowhere, the shadow of something monstrous appears. This isn't just any shark. This is the Megalodon, the largest and most terrifying shark to have ever lived. First off, let's talk size. The Megalodon could grow up to 60 feet long, about the length of a bowling lane, and weigh up to 50 tons. That's as heavy as a humpback whale. Its teeth alone were over 7 inches long, razor-sharp and serrated like the edge of a saw. These weren't just teeth. They were weapons designed to tear through flesh and bone with terrifying efficiency. The Megalodon's bite force was something out of a nightmare, estimated at around 40,000 pounds per square inch. To give you some perspective, that's over 10 times the bite force of a great white shark and enough to crush the skull of a prehistoric whale like it was made of paper. But what did this giant eat? Pretty much whatever it wanted. Its diet consisted mainly of large marine mammals like whales, seals, and even other sharks. The Megalodon was at the top of the food chain, with nothing else in the ocean that could challenge it. It's no wonder that its name literally means big tooth. But here's something you might not know. The Megalodon shared its seas with another terrifying predator, the Mosasaurus. Mosasaurus was an enormous marine reptile that could grow nearly as large as the Megalodon. While Mosasaurus wasn't fast enough to consistently prey on Megalodon, there were likely tense encounters between these giants. However, thanks to its superior speed, Megalodon could usually escape these deadly confrontations. It's a good thing, too, because if the Mosasaurus had caught it, the Megalodon might have been on the menu. So, Why did such a powerful creature go extinct? There are a few theories. One major factor could have been the cooling of the oceans, which affected the megalodon's food supply. As their primary prey began to migrate to colder waters or went extinct, the megalodon may have struggled to find enough to eat. There's also evidence that competition with other predators, like the ancestors of modern killer whales, could have played a role. And just how fast could this massive shark swim? Estimates suggest it could reach speeds of up to 25 miles per hour. Not as fast as some smaller sharks, but still fast enough to chase down its prey in a short, terrifying burst of speed. But here's a thought to keep you up at night. Some people believe that Megalodon might still be out there, lurking in the unexplored depths of our oceans. While there's no scientific evidence to support this, it's a theory that continues to fascinate and terrify us. Whether it's true or not, one thing's for sure: the Megalodon was a true sea monster. But just like the Argentinosaurus, the Megalodon didn't survive forever. It's believed that Megalodon went extinct around 2.6 million years ago during the Pliocene epoch. The cooling of the Earth's climate, dropping sea levels, and changes in prey availability likely contributed to its demise. The very ocean that once nurtured this beast became its downfall. Finally, let's bring things back to the present day. But don't think we're done with giants just yet. The blue whale, the biggest animal alive today, and in fact the biggest animal that has ever lived, still roams our oceans. If you thought the Argentinosaurus or the Megalodon were huge, wait till you hear about this marine behemoth. Blue whales can grow up to 100 feet long and weigh as much as 200 tons. That's twice the weight of the Argentinosaurus. To put it in perspective, its tongue alone weighs as much as an elephant, and its heart is as heavy as a car. And let's talk about that heart for a second. It's the size of a small car, and with every beat, it pumps around 60 gallons of blood. Imagine feeling the ground shake with every heartbeat if you were close enough. What about their voices? Well, blue whales are also the loudest animals on the planet. Their calls can reach up to 188 decibels, louder than a jet engine. They can communicate with each other across hundreds of miles of ocean using these powerful vocalizations. It's like having a conversation with someone on the other side of a continent. The blue whale's diet is surprisingly simple. Despite its enormous size, it feeds almost exclusively on tiny shrimp-like animals called krill. During feeding season, a blue whale can consume up to 4 tons of krill every day. That's like eating 8,000 pounds of shrimp every single day. Unfortunately, despite their size and strength, blue whales are endangered. There are only a few thousand left in the wild, mainly due to whaling in the 20th century, which drastically reduced their population. Nowadays they're protected, but their numbers are still dangerously low. Pollution, ship strikes, and climate change continue to threaten their survival. And what about their lifespan? Blue whales can live for up to 90 years, with some individuals even reaching 100 years. However, with such a slow reproduction rate and the constant threats they face, every decade counts for these gentle giants. Now, if we were to compare the blue whale with the largest dinosaur, it's clear who the winner is in terms of size. While the Argentinosaurus might have been the biggest land animal, the blue whale surpasses it in sheer mass, making it the largest creature to have ever existed on Earth. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I recommend that you watch this recommended video if you like this style of videos, and stay curious and energetic until the next video.